Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SpeedForce Racing. My name is JB, and I'll be taking you through tonight's proceedings. But before we do anything else, let's take a look at the championship standings. Because in P1 is Blaz MK ahead of Primeval Rex in P2. Then it's Pasley creeping up there in P3, and Alson Senegal, after a good result, is in P4. Dr. Special Energy is in P5, and Ryan Van Doom is in P6. Alco is in P7, though he's not here tonight due to a soldier injury, and Gaming Things is in P8. Luke Beck is in P9 and Laser Lord is in P10. Outside of the top 10 is Pro Oliver in P11 and Gogs in GA in P12. Hegloof is in P13 and Meteor Soldier is in P14. Psychomix is in P15. Racing Podge, though he's not here tonight, he's over in Stockholm, is in P16. Sigurd is in P17. Chain Game is in P18. JB Ogan is in P19 and Oimer is in P20. Here are the constructor standings because Renault is in P1 ahead of Mercedes in P2, so both streaky ahead of the struggling Toro Rossos in P3. The Williams is in P4 and Alfa Romeo is in P5, Haas is in P6, and then Racing Point is in P7. Ferrari is in P8, McLaren is in P9, Red Bull, languishing only on 30 points, is in P10. But I'm not on my own tonight. As you probably can tell, I've brought along one of my many Norwegian friends, and today I've got Twan again. Hello mate, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm absolutely fine. Now, something we should mention, though, is by some God knows how many times we tried, we managed to get Twan as a permanent commentator. I managed to kidnap you, didn't I?
Yeah, I mean, I was already thinking about... I was already co-commentating a few times, and I found it fun, so why not?
Most definitely. So tonight we're at the Baku City Street Circuit. How is that track looking?
Well, I personally like it a lot because it makes for good racing, I would say, Azerbaijan, because you have a lot of straights, and then you have a really hard sector as well, a really technical sector. So you get a bit of both. So it will be... I'm looking forward to it.
You always look forward. We always look forward to Baku. Whether this race is going to be more like the F1 race we saw last week in Baku in Formula One, or it's going to be like the race we saw 2 years ago. Who knows? It's going to be fantastic. Nonetheless, it's going to be fun. We're just seeing. Do you mind sending Gaming Things a spare invite for me? Twan.
Okay.
Yeah. Do apologise. If you just jump out of it, we'll just delay the start quickly while we wait for Gaming Things. So you want a spare invite. Then once it's all sorted. So let's just run through who we have in tonight. We have Gaming Things and Chain Game. Smelly Badger, our last week's winner, is here. Hello. How are you? Smelly Badger, last week's winner, is here again, reserving Gp3 alongside Meteor Soldier. In the Aston Martin Red Bull, we have Sigurd and Pro Oliver. In the Racing Point, we have GA and Luke Beck. In the Williams, we have Blaz MK and JB Ogan. So in the Renault, we have Alsan and Pasley. In the Toro Rosso, we have Hegloof and Primeval Rex. In the Haas, we have Psychomix Dr. Special Energy. In the McLaren, we have Blood and Sands reserving for Alco, who is injured, and Oimer. And then in Alfa Romeo, we have Ryan Van Doom and Laser Lord. That seems all okay. We're just gonna wait for everything to sort out. I'm just flashing and looking at that. Okay, that'll do now, mate.
I'm busy with giving Gaming Things another.
It looks like he's got a few actually.
Yeah, I gave one to him.
I love that they're all asking for invites now. As soon as we're live, of course. Right, well, drivers, if you can send the spare invites out to your fellow drivers, we're going to aim to get over the track. If we could just ask you to just get back into the spectator box for me, please. Thank you, Twan. Love you.
What?
Do you mind just getting into the spectators area,
I'm really
please?
focused, okay. Say once more.
Can you just hit spectate for me, let's see? Because we're going to send them over the track.
Spectate, oh yeah, no problem. There you go.
Okay. All right, we've ordered that. If drivers are here to hopefully send special send invites to people who are asking for it in the chat, please do. Getting Things has just rejoined us. Not sure why he left. Oh well. So Baku, this track has been a little bit stale last week. We saw in Formula One, but earlier on before we saw train of thoughts come back to me. Where are we?
I'm here.
My train of thoughts is giving us. Oh yes. So in 2016, when Baku first arrived onto the scene in Formula One, it was a rather subdued race won by Nico Rosberg. 2017 though was absolutely mental when we saw the drivers battling it out, and I believe it was it was Daniel Ricciardo that came out on top. Last year it was Lewis Hamilton's day, though it should have been Bottas's, and this year it was Bottas's. But nonetheless, this track produces brilliant racing, though if it had been made in the 80s, they say, Twan, that it would have been outlawed by now because of how dangerous the track really is.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Well, I said that.
One thing to say, you said it was a boring track this the last weekend. I have two things to say to you.
Oh dear, I'm about to get beaten up by a Norwegian.
F2.
F2 was fantastic. It truly was. F2, as it always was really entertaining. If you want to watch it, the highlights are on the F1 YouTube channel. There we go, Liberty Media, give me money. But obviously, the question is now, is it going to be wet? It is not. How disappointed am I? Very. But still, yeah, F2 was insane, as it so often is in Formula One, in the Formula One weekend. But yes, so what are we looking for around this track? What do you look for most when you come on to track here at Baku?
Well, you have to look at the setup for speed first and foremost, because you have, is it the longest straight? I think. Yeah,
the longest.
On the F1 calendar, where you go flat out. But then also you have the Costa section, and if you don't have the downforce to go down there, you're done basically. So you need to find that balance, and I don't think that's that easy to find here, because you have such big differences in setups to the different sectors.
It most definitely is. I mean, we saw a message in the group chat from Pro Oliver, the Red Bull driver, saying how much he struggled trying to find the right throttle dead zone. It's not just that, it's trying to get this track flowing and right. It's all about getting rhythm at this track. One little slip up and you are into the barriers. Charles Leclerc found that out very heavily in qualifying. The same as Robert Kubica, who was just pushing a little bit too hard. On board with Blood and Sands, is he going to clip the wall? No, he doesn't. Different curb actually on the 2019 track. They had it extended all the way up to the wall so they could run over it a little bit easier. Oh, I have been informed it is rain at the end of the session. We're going to have a nice fun one. SpeedForce Raining returning at full pelt. Oh, Blood and Sands has broken his window on his outlap at the very tricky corner, near to where, actually at the corner where Pierre Gasly had to avoid his teammate at 300 and something kilometers an hour. Brendan Hartley trying to kill his teammate. I mean, you know. Right, so Alison Senegal will be our first driver to set a lap time, I believe, unless Blood and Sands pitted. No, he doesn't. Blood and Sands carries on. But yes, as you said, Twan, this is the longest track the longest straight in Formula One, and that breeds natural overtaking, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can be quite far behind actually, and still get a decent enough speed to at least get into close enough to maybe outbrake the person, not always go right past. You can see, I would think that turn 1 will be a quite big action zone, as people will be trying to outbrake each other and maybe even go wide, maybe locking up, such things.
It truly is going to be interesting. Here comes Blood and Sands for the first time in anger, about to attack the castle section. Is he going to suffer foul to it? He almost did on the right-hand side, but he didn't cause any damage to his McLaren. Remember, renting that tonight for Alco, trying to get some points for the team that direly need it. Putting down to where he broke his front wing on the first lap. He's got it right this time. This has been an extremely quick lap, even though he's got damage on the front of that nose. Salam Baku, indeed, as we're coming through. What can happen here? Is it going to be Blood and Sands on pole position? He's on the ultra soft tyres. Tyre wear quite critical around here, isn't it, Twan?
Yeah, especially because the barriers are so close that if you get tire wear and you don't know just where to brake and you brake a bit too late, you will probably end up in the barrier. And if you brake too early, you will have to Gaming things hitting the same barrier as Leclerc did.
Oh dear.
He got away with it, but if you brake too early to continue, you will lose massive amounts of time.
You definitely will. Here is Smelly Badger, last week's winner on the super soft tyres, matching his Ferrari very well. The Scarlet Speedster only goes up to P3. This track is not for the faint of heart, is it?
No, it's all about just sticking it in and just believing in yourself, because you will lose way too much if you don't have the confidence around here.
You know the downhill section that we just went through on Laser Lord, you probably missed it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stream, so
oh, you did.
I can see it, yeah.
That downhill section reminds me so much of the Formula E track in Rome. But ignoring that, look at the toe that Chain Game's going to give Laser Lord here with DRS open. As you look at that, absolutely phenomenal. We have lost Sigurd, and I wonder if that has been in turn 8. See, Palsy goes fastest. Laser Lord goes even faster, though, with the toe on the ultra soft tyres. I wonder if he can get a shot or something. Yeah, here's Baz K heading into turn 8 now. Are we going to see any shards of Red Bull in there from a particular Norwegian driver? No, we don't, but we do see a clatter against the wall for Blazon K, the Croatian driver. He's spinning, he's round, and he's into the barrier. He's got to make sure that he doesn't get in trouble with the stewards. He's waiting for cars to come through. It's a clear track. He can now spin around and get back on the line. Prime Rex, though, retiring in Sector 2. That looks like it was at turn 8. That horrible castle section. If you get that wrong, it does end in tears.
Primeval is into the barrier, and
also
Hagnell
too. Both Toro Rossos falling foul at the same point on track. We caught that just as poor Gaming Things had to avoid it. He's probably thinking, good grief, what happened there? This pit lane here, obviously very difficult. We saw Lee Nell take a very big crash into that pit lane last season. And anger from Toro Rosso as both drivers are out of qualifying here. One did not set a lap time, one just managed to. That's going to really took a massive blow. One to the championship and two to the race itself and to the team's championships.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to see them climbing up the field, because I know all of the three of them can get up to the point scoring positions, so I will be taking an extra look at them.
Another driver quoting Charles Leclerc here in the stream chat, saying, "I am so stupid," and it works best here at this track. Yellow flags permanently positioned now as the marshals have extracted that car. Hopefully they're better than the marshals actually were in Baku, because crikey, O'Reilly, they were terrible. Wouldn't get those at Silverstone. Crossing the line though is Meaty Soldier. He goes up to P9. Hopefully this is the race that he can solidify himself as a GP3 driver. He struggled the last couple, and this time he's looking to be continuing on very well. We've got a few drivers in pit lane, but already we see drivers falling foul of this. How does that make you feel to watch these cars coming through and struggling this hard, Twan?
Well, I'm I think it is how it should be in Monaco. I mean, there's so big differences between.
You said
what
Monaco.
did I say?
You said Monaco.
Okay, I meant Baku. Okay, street circuits, you know, potato, potato. No, in Baku you have such big differences that you should be struggling a bit for either to get the straight line speed or just to suck it up and be struggling a bit in the corners. It's really a preference for the drivers to make that opinion.
It is. Naturally, though, as the car I normally drive is naturally understeery around this track, especially through Sector 1 and 2, those double 90-degree left-handers, which are incredibly difficult. We saw a massive collision in Formula 2 there in last week round here, and that was 2 weeks ago.
Meat Soldier also hitting the barrier at the same place as the two Torossos, but managing to not damage his car.
I really feel like on this game, some cars are stronger than others. I really feel that way.
Oh, what? Did you follow Meat Soldier?
No, I didn't follow him. I'm following Psychometric right now.
Okay, so he went into the pit lane. If you look at him now, if you take a look at him, yeah.
Oh, and he's going.
So he was going into the pit lane and he went to the right, so to the marker board, and just went straight out ahead.
Psychometric jumping in P7. Though Primary Rex has totaled his car, he's currently sat in a very comfortable with a 2/10 gap. They're in P5. He's not been passed yet, has he?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, do you think that Primal Rex will get through to Q2?
Well, we don't have Q2, do we? We just have the single qualifying session here in SpeedForce Racing. It's alright, it's easily done. But whether he gets into the race, solid 20-person grid, yeah, it is solid. Though 20 people can result in a safety car here, and we all know that cautions precautions. Look at Formula 2 race 1 here. That was 2 cars taken out on the formation lap. But still, here's JB Ogan in the Williams. He's already not destroyed the back of his car like George Russell had, or totaled it like Robert Kubica did. So he's already doing better than both the current Williams drivers. But what can our little JB Ogan do? Our Norwegian driver in the car, Norwegian driver in commentary. What do you think he could do?
I think he's a really good driver, and I think he could definitely get up into a good point scoring position if he has today. So
that's a fantastic lap. It's P2 for JB Ogan on the medium compound of tyres this week with the Superstar tyres. That's a cracking lap time. Immediately displaced though by the Mercedes of gamey things.
Did you see if he got any slipstream?
No, I was on board with it. He did it all on his own.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's
Williams really good.
Got some cracking pace in the front of that Williams tonight.
So what do you think of tire strategy? Because I see multiple people going both on softs and super softs, and you see some of the runners going ultra softs. So it's really split.
It is incredibly split, and obviously the prospect of rain at the end depends how heavy the rain will be. I was racing at Silverstone on Sunday night, and as Blazem K goes fastest with a 1:37.9, that's a cracking lap time, almost an entire second quicker. Right, potentially saying that Primary Rex may not be able to race due to as Blazem K retires with 5 minutes to go. That's a pretty bold statement there, saying that he won't be, he might not be able to, that lap time might not be beaten.
I have a question for you then. Do you think he retired on track?
He did retire on track. That's what the yellow flag in Sector 1 is right now. Whoa, big oversteer motor for Oliver. But just to bring us all up to speed, the potential that Primary Rex may not be able to make it to the race Though he has qualified down to the fact that his hand is starting to get a little bit more painful. He's gone to get an ice pack. He has some time during qualifying, and we obviously don't want him to cause any more harm to himself than he already has done. But so you'll see what his decision is, obviously coming into the race. But that is a hell of a statement to say. Look, my lap time's not going to be beaten, isn't it? For BlazMK.
Yeah, it's either that or he's just thinking that he can't beat his own time.
Chain Gang, the Chain Game, sorry, making it up to P4 on the soft tyres. That's a strong strategy if he goes for that one.
So Lazy Lord again. Oh no, he's coming into the pits. My bad.
Ben Sands retiring in Sector 1 with 4 minutes to go of qualifying. On board with Oimer, where can he go? He goes P14. Look how competitive this grid is right now.
Yeah, that's what we like to see, a competitive grid, and I think at the moment we've been really lucky to get drivers all over. I mean, everyone has someone to try to beat. Everyone has rivals. That's really good to see.
Most definitely. It's going to be really interesting coming into the race, obviously, with the prospect of the wet weather coming onto track later on, depending how heavy it will be. As I said before, I was racing at Silverstone on Sunday in another league, in a realistic league. Coming into the last stage of the race, I think it's last 3 laps, they said, oh, it's going to start raining. And we thought, okay, it won't affect us much. It was heavy rain instantly. The track was sodden. So that could be happening here tonight.
Yeah, I'll be hoping for that.
So GA,
that would be good.
GA jumping a lap time in, the Scotsman on the soft tyres, looking to improve. He's already 8 tenths up in Sector 1. He's already beaten Sigurd and Hegluth, obviously, who have got damaged their cars. Isn't it funny that 3 out of the 4 cars that retired on track have, or the 3 cars that we know retired on track due to damage, were three of the Red Bull cars. Apparently Chain Game has been caught cutting corners, according to another driver. If he has, then you can report that to the stewards and he'll get a talking to. I assume it was this corner here we've gone through with GA. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what your stance is on corner cutting in qualifying, Twan, but we don't like it in SFR.
Yeah, I mean, we'd like everyone to get the same opportunity to set times and just be clean and fair to each other. So that's why there's also a rule set outside of the game itself.
Chain Game has retired from the session though in P4. Ryan Van Doong though, our favourite supervillain with DRS open, he's going to try and push as hard as he can now with the DRS. What can the Alfa Romeo get up to? Slicing down towards turn 1 he's going to be 7 seconds down, but he's just starting his lap time. Let's ride on board with him and see what he can do. So much this season that he almost got a win. I don't believe he has this season. Turning in, oh, that was almost disaster into turn 2.
So I have I was just looking down the comments and I saw one from TJ. He asked who was the fastest running at school today. I have a question for him. Was that the first time running or the last time?
An in-joke here between the Norwegians. I'm not in on it. I'm not big enough in their club to know about it yet.
No, there was a running competition at school today, and he works at my school now, so he was a part of it.
First time, he just said.
So yeah, first. He ran what is it called? When there were teams, and he ran. There were 8 times to run, and he ran
Well, I'm going to interrupt you, mate. Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah. Because it looks like Ryan Van Doom might be on for a pole lap right here. He's absolutely gone for it. It's been a masterclass of driving all lap now. Qualifying is coming to a close in 16 seconds. He's ragging this car to the absolute limit. It's going to be right there. It's just off pole position. It's P4, but it's... Oh, it's insane that Blazon K is that far ahead. Here's the other Alfa Romeo. DRS open on Laserlord. He can only manage P2 as qualifying is over. Luke Beck making up to P3. Gaming things so stealing P3.
Third. That's good for him.
What's Alison Senegal up to? Norwegian arguments right now. Argues in Norwegian.
I mean, the good thing here is that I'm the one commentating, so whatever they say, I can do it much better.
And also Senegal, the final qualifier, pops it up into P5 for the Renault. Let's take a look at the qualifying grid though for the Azerbaijan City Circuit Grand Prix. Let's see what they can do. This is going to be fantastic. A two-stop is possible around here, potentially with the rain as well. This is going to get really interesting. It's fuel and tyre dependent as well. But here we go, by 7/10 of a second, Blazon K takes pole position ahead of Laserlord in P2. Gaming Things is in P3, Luke Beck is in P4. Alison Senegal is in P5 and Ryan Van Doom is in P6. Chain Game is in P7, JB Ogan is in P8, Slutty Magic is in P9, Blood and Sand is in P10. Outside of the top 10, and the free tyre choices, Pro Oliver in P11, C Palace in P12, Primary Rex in P13, Psychomitch in P14, Top Special Energy in P15, Oima in P16, Meteor Soldier in P17, GA in P18, Sigurd and Hegloof in P19 and P20 after not setting out time. And breathe. Oh, I went through that very quickly, didn't I?
Yeah, fast talker, you know. Native language is English, so.
Oh, yes it is. And I'll tell you what, I could talk for England and Scotland and Wales if they wanted to. Maybe Ireland, but the thing with Scotland, they want to go independent, so I might talk to Ireland instead, so yeah. Anywho.
Should we stop the conversation maybe about the running, or should we just keep it going?
You can quickly fill it in before as we head into the formation lap.
Okay, so we have a comment from C-Trexer. Makes a joke about my quote, everything you can do, I can do better.
And pulls a face when it looks at it as well. If you're watching this and the chat isn't available for you as of yet as an option to look at, you'll have to watch that. You'll have to wait for it to upload properly onto the channel, but right now we're going to take a look at the grid. Oh, big weaving already off the line. That's aggressive weaving, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 2 white cars lead us away.
He definitely... yeah, I don't think Blaze wants anyone to come through, at least. I think if anyone even tries to overtake him, I think they will get taken out.
Oh, I wouldn't suggest that he takes someone out. I think it's going to be...
No.
With the way he took off the line there, he was very much wanted those tyres to be heated up, let's say that.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting he does that. I'm not at all. I'm thinking if it was in a race situation and he would weave like that.
Oh, if he'd done that on the race, that would have been an instant penalty, I believe.
Yeah. Well, I think...
Make your predictions on how many get through the castle section. I'm going to say 20 because I love all of these drivers here on GP3. But I'm just going to bring up the fact that only 3 drivers have taken the plunge and gone for the yellow compound, soft compound of tyres. I mean, is that a risk? We're already seeing yellow flags on the formation lap. Maybe drivers are pushing a little bit too hard on this first flying lap.
Yeah, you see, the most of the grid is now on super softs. And then you have three drivers in Psychomatch, C Pasley, and Chain Game on softs, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 6 drivers on the ultra softs, including the top 3.
T. Jonas saying that he reckons 3 people will be out on lap 1. Well, hopefully it's not the leaders, so the track is blocked. We have ghosting on, and this is for a very specific reason here. Steve has been disqualified from the session after making contact with what looks like Primeval Rex. Abusing there. Everyone abusing drivers. But here we go. We're currently sat on the side pod of the Williams, looking at the gantry, waiting for those lights to come on.
Alright, I'm gonna look at Psychomatch.
You know, I was just looking at P14 thinking you'd go for that one. So now we're just waiting for those lights to come on to the grid so we can find out. There they are, the lights lighting up to 2, 3, and 4. 5 red lights. The lights are out and the drivers are away. Sometime before I turn 900 years old. Come on, drivers. There they go, they're away. It's a very good start for Laserlord in P2, but a better start for Gp3 in P3. Gp3 challenging for the lead. He makes contact with the back of Blazon K, but he has passed the Alfa Romeo. Sector 1, we have yellow flags. What's happening here? GA dropping back a position, and drivers all having to fight their way through. The Alfa Romeo squabbling for position. Luke Beck losing a position as well, and drivers absolutely fighting tooth and nail in the background as they head towards the second sector of the track. Where are they looking? Ryan Van Doom round the outside of Laserlord, his teammate. He has done it. He was almost making contact with the wall, and it looks like a Renault went towards the wall as well. We're on board. Beatty Soldier looks like he's suffered as well, and Luke Beck suffering as well. There is a yellow flag in sector 1. Now it's Hegloof. Hegloof has made a mistake somewhere, but back up to the lead. Blazon K leads by 1 second as we head towards the castle section. Let's get ready to see what these guys can do. Blazon K is going to make it through very cleanly. No pressure from him. Same with Gaming Things. A little bit of oversteer in the middle. Same with Ryan Van Doom. Laserlord 2. And we have a virtual safety car. Alson Senegal is the first driver to fall foul of the castle section. It's a big collision. A stop and go penalty for Chain Game for a severe collision with Alson Senegal. The virtual safety car is out here on lap 1 in Baku. Hegloof with a severe collision with GA, a 5-second stop and go penalty. And relax.
Do you think who did get the first penalty?
It was Chain Game. Ooh,
okay, so do you think Chain Game may have tried to, or Alson Senegal trying to go too wide there, maybe?
Potentially. Apparently, according to Formula 1, you can go 3 wide into that corner. We very much doubt it as the Hasses swap positions. Now we have sector 3 yellow flags. It's Chain Game pulling into pit lane.
Oh, who's that?
Luke Beck?
Someone.
Luke Beck is round.
Luke Beck, yeah.
Luke Beck is round in sector 3. He's trying to get into pit lane. Something's happened to the Racing Point. Racing no points on the front wing by the looks of it. Pro Oliver dropping down 1 position from C-Passy. DRS has not even been enabled, and already this is a classic here in Baku. Ryan Van Doom hunting down the Mercedes.
Yeah, I see.
Wing on JB Hogan. Sector 1's yellow flags are waving. It's Primeval Rex. He's somewhere. He's actually missed his braking point. This time, the Renault doesn't. There is no Renault to reverse into the Toro Rosso. Thank you, Daniel Ricciardo, for that meme. Castle section times 2. 26 laps of racing here. Tuan, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at Dr. Special Energy trying to get right at the back at Pro Oliver, and he does a really good job now, but he went
Oliver was very wide that corner. He's gone wide. Oliver has damage on his car. He's trying to get out of the way so he doesn't impact someone else's race. He is missing the left end plate on that front wing.
Then we will also see Psychomatch getting a lot of time through the S's here in a few seconds.
The gap
when you have
down. Go on.
We have drivers going through the S's there, and who's that? Meaty Soldier is out.
Meaty Soldier, Ferrari is out. Gaming Things is the fastest driver on track. Sector 2 and 3 are engulfed in yellow flags. only Sector 3 now. No, as well in Sector 2. And Pro Oliver pulls into pit lane to repair that damage front wing. DRS has been enabled sometime during this, and Ryan Van Doom now has an extra shot to attack that Mercedes.
So what I was saying is, you really don't want to be driving behind a car with front wing damage in the S's. They have to lift off, and you will just gain.
Oh, Dr. Special
so
Energy
much
has
on
gone
them.
too deep at turn 3. Sigurd's hit the barrier, and Oimer's hit Sigurd. No damage on Oimer's side, but Sigurd might have just got a little bit of damage on his front wing. He does. Dr. Special Energy has got it around. Do apologise for that. I saw everything go yellow for 1 second, and I thought, yeah, that's Sector 2. Just take us through that again one more time. I know you're trying to say this conversation about 3 times by now.
What was I saying?
The
S's, yeah.
Front wing, yeah.
If you have a driver ahead of you and they have front wing damage, you will lose a lot of time, especially if they're right in front of you, because they will have to lift off, and then you also
Dr.
will have
Special
to
Energy
lift
just
off.
avoiding Sigurd as he clouts the barrier. Sigurd out, and none of it but the cost section. Blazon K's made a mistake. Blazon K spun.
He spun round.
He's got to
Blazon
make
K.
sure he doesn't hit any driver. If he doesn't move, he's just absolutely closing that Williams against the barrier. Come on, we don't need you don't need to be the marshal for last time. Sigurd leaving the session. So Ryan Van Doom is our leader here today, and it says Alfa Romeo 1 and 2 at this point in the race.
Yeah, you need to remember that they have the ultra softs as well. So
JB Owen is our net leader then,
yeah,
because apparently we're going to be losing the Ultrasoft runners sooner rather than later due to damage. Not damage. What's it called?
At the same time, you have rain coming, so we really don't know what's the fastest strategy. If everyone has to come for one stop, or and then onto the inters, or what will happen?
So Ryan Van Doom is leading his teammate, the number 23. No, it's not Alexander Albon in his Laser Lord. And drivers falling foul of this track. Alston Senegal, Meaty Soldier and Sigurd. Their cars totaled. Well, JB Hogan almost plowing into the barrier himself now. But Dot Special Energy, on the hunt trying to get up and pass Oimer in the McLaren. He's having a good race right now, isn't he?
Yeah. Not the best of luck for him.
You just want to see what Jordan can do in the Haas. Lining up a move on the McLaren. This is very difficult. If you're going to go side by side through here, it often ends in disaster. And you can't make a move into this corner because it's too sharp. And look at that. Not Special Energy braking very early to try and get the better run on Oimer, who was hoping to outbrake himself. Ryan Van Doom into pit lane. Laser Lord is now our race leader. One Alfa Romeo swats the other as the tyres start to die down on the Ultrasoft tyres, on the Ultrasoft runners.
Do you think we will have a TNR on the podium tonight?
It could be interesting. Not especially a little left there as Oimer almost squeezed in towards the barrier, Kevin Magnussen-esque. But this time, the Haas is coming alongside him. It's actually staying with him. The McLaren stayed with him on the straight. With, wow, little bit of a damage there. Pro Oliver out of the session. Damage exactly where Meteor Soldier did. Here's Blazon K attacking Pro Oliver. But Oimer, oh, he almost got close to taking out that Haas, didn't he?
Yeah, it was lucky to get out of it, because sometimes the cars get stuck into each other.
Chain Game in P15 is now the fastest man on track, and Luke Beck is trying to attack Blazon K after being passed along the main straight. Here's Primary Rex though. He's getting close to Oimer, but he's got the other Papaya machine right behind him for the McLaren team, the number 15, Blood and Sands, as Oliver leaves the session. Oof. This track showing how difficult it is to race here.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite tracks actually.
It truly is entertaining. Here's Primary Rex. He's hit the barrier, but he has passed Oimer. I don't know why he's... Oh, Oimer is the barrier. Something's wrong with Oimer's car. I think has his controller died? He said he's got no throttle inputs whatsoever. You're gonna bring up the throttle. He has throttle inputs now. Something must have happened there because he just stopped. Laserlord now, the driver into pit lane. Sorry. Same with Hegloof, and JB Ogan is our race leader on the super soft tyres. Now it's a question of when is that rain coming.
Yeah, also, do you know what Hegnoff's doing? He's on his third stop now.
I think it might be front wing
already.
Damage.
Yeah, because he has had one, he started, and then he pitted, and then 2 laps, and then 1 lap.
I think that seems to be down to damage. Blood and Sand looking to be Daniel Ricciardo, not in a Renault, so Vittorio Rosso doesn't have to worry. But look at that, Ryan Van Doon pitted earlier, now he's stuck behind his teammate. What's Laserlord actually jumping his teammate in the pit stops. Brilliant job there for Laserlord.
I think you'll be wanting to look at the train between 7 and 9.
Oh, Blood and Sand's going for an opportunistic move just before turn 8. It's a turn 7. He tried, it didn't happen. Laserlord back on the attack, and same with Ryan Van Doon. Oyma reports saying that his TV turned off midway through, and that might have cost him a good bound of points tonight.
So, Gaming Things. Oh, Dr. Special.
He's out just before the apex. He's just had an oversteer moment, and it clearly paid off as his tire's got a little bit too old. It's now becoming an endurance race here. It's who can continue on the longest.
Yeah, I think Gaming Things is the net leader at the moment. He's also trying on to get Psychomich now. He's
trying, but has it paid? He's down the inside. Psychomich has to turn in. And the Haas does relinquish the position right now. Now Blood and Sand's on the attack. They're going to go 2 wide, maybe 3 wide. No, Laserlord trying on Primary Rex, but Primary Rex soaking up the pressure. He's saying nothing challenges E. I survived that asteroid that killed all my race, and now that little T-Rex is carrying on its head. Driver's pushing as hard as he has. Valley Badger into pit lane. They're trying to work out where to go. Blood and Sand's considering going down the inside of Laserlord. He has caused the Alfa Romeo to lose a little bit of traction there. And now Blood and Sand's got his eyes on getting past that white machine. The Swiss machine needs to get out of the way.
Yeah, as you can see here, the track is either going really to make gaps or to stay in trains. As you can see, a good example of here now.
Oh, Laserlord in the barrier! And now, Blood and Sands, unfortunately, with a damaged front wing. That is the first driver we've seen since Alston's Illegal on lap 1. Full foul, and Laserlord's going to be absolutely holding his hands in his head there. That is just hard luck there. Just turned out a little bit too early.
We're on 7 laps, we're up to 60 NFs.
Almost one for each lap.
Yeah. And Gaming Things now, our net lead, I think he's made 1 stop.
He has. So Gaming Things, our net leader here in Baku. He's done no practice for this race, and he's currently in the best position. But obviously, with the rain inbound, whether it's going to be intermediate weather or whether it's going to be full wet weather, or whether it's just going to be a little bit greasy and put the slick tyres still on the cars, that's going to get difficult. Blood and Sand to the pit lane to repair that damaged front wing after he, left half of it on the back of an Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, where would you think Jibogan and C. Pasley will come out?
Well, let's take a look, because in the leader stand, as we can see, J. Bogan is currently looking at a 4th place if he pitted this lap. About 4th or 5th, I think he'll be.
4th or 5th, yeah, but you need to remember that Sakimich and Primal Rex also going on the softs and super softs as well.
It's getting really difficult to work out what's happening. Both McLarens now outside of the points. I want to hear that again. Come on, guys, catch up. one Ferrari. Last week's winner, Smelly Badger, the GP2 driver who comes here to reserve, is struggling here. This could be his practice for tomorrow's race in GP2, couldn't it?
Yeah, I just was looking. Primal Rex, he crashed out in qualifying. He's now in P5.
He's doing absolutely brilliant there, especially with the fact that he is injured as well. Smelly Badger on the back. Battles reforming here in Baku as we go up to round 1700 with the amount of battles going on. And now we're on board with Chain Game, the Dutch driver, looking to pass Luke Beck. Luke Beck going wide, worn tyres starting to fall better of him. Super soft tyres starting to struggle, and Chain Game, Luke Beck on the soft compound tyres too, excuse me. Chain Game try and draw alongside the Mercedes, nobody having the best run here. DRS opening, not yet, it's going to be open in just a moment now. DRS opening on the car, and he is ahead. I wonder if the pink machine can do anything behind him. He can chuck it up the inside, it's a bit of a risk, but no, he chooses not to.
So I just got a bit of insight. Bogan has just 1 month ago bought the game and a steering wheel.
Oh, Smelly Badger on the inside, bumping Oima. Luckily, Oima was able to catch the car, and Smelly Badger locked the brakes a little bit longer, so Oima would return to that gap that he had before. But the Ferrari just making an opportunistic move. Yeah, I did read that. JB Hogan doing an exceptional job right now in the Williams.
Yeah, I'm now looking at Primal Rex. He is sliding all over the place, actually hitting the barrier up the castle section. Not getting any damage, I think, but still hitting the barrier.
Just going to close the chat quickly and reopen it. And now you see Blood and Sand starting to get closer and closer to GA of some kind. He wants to pass that car as soon as he possibly can. What can we see forming? We see Ryan Van Doom getting closer and closer to Primary Rex. That battle is going to increase. And look at that, there's just battle forming everywhere. McLaren on Racing Point, Alfa Romeo on Toro Rosso, and McLaren on another McLaren on Ferrari. This time we're on board with the McLaren on Racing Point though. GA trying to soak up the pressure from the Scotsman behind. It's the Scottish war here. It's not Braveheart, no. It is simply Blood and Sands versus GA. Skies are getting dark though in Sector 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure if trying to go... Yeah, you take the battle now, I think.
Blood and Sands got DRS now in a second. There it is, an offensive attack now. As one Racing Point pits, the other one gets past, and both of them will drop behind you. Both of them will drop in ahead of Luke Beck, who'll drop down to the tail end of the field.
Just the same behind with Smelly Badger and Oima. Oh, and the crash!
Oima! It's Oima making contact with Smelly Badger. We saw it in the background. It looks like Smelly Badger might have tried to move again, and this time it ended in both of them making contact. The GP2 driver struggling. And now the gap at the top's come down. I think the super soft tyres, I think it's time to get them off the car. Is JB Ogun going to pit? Sector 1, we have a yellow flag out. Is Oima out of the session.
So he probably had some type of front wing damage, I guess.
JB Ogun does pull into pit lane, and now C. Pasley is our race leader. Not a shock to see him up at the top of the field, where does Primary Rex go? He's the next super soft runner. Is he going to try to pit this lap? He's got a slow car ahead. That's his teammate. Blue flag's waving for his teammate. He's actually staying in the tow, so Primary Rex not pitting this lap. And we know JB Ogun having an abnormally long stop due to the fact of his front wing being changed. So that Heckler's doing a very good job of getting out of the way. Just take us through the battle that's happening for P4 right now, Twan, if you can.
P4?
Yep.
Okay, so Ryan Doom now with the softs in the Sauber behind Primal Rex with older super softs. So Primal hasn't been into the pits yet. So he will still be looking to do that.
He will. Look at that, JB Ogun only popping down his 6th, 10 seconds ahead of his teammate. So that damage on Blaz MK's car has cost him. dearly in this race. Do excuse me.
Jebogan's in.
He has pitted, yes. He has.
I'm surely really late to say that, but
Alex is doing a fantastic job for P4 right now. My commentator for GP2, provided his hand holds up enough strength, we'll be seeing him on commentary tomorrow night. And Ryan Van Doom looking to make a move sooner rather than later on the tour also. This is the joke I make is Private Rex is a superhero and Ryan Van Doom is a supervillain. Just because I like the idea of those two battling out titanically. And right now we might actually be getting my fanfiction here. Let me start writing it. The DRS is going to severely help Ryan Van Doom. And Private Rex doing a brilliant job through this section. This is where he crashed in qualifying. He's becoming more and more tentative about going through that section. That looks to be a pit lane trajectory though for the top Private Rex. Sector 3, Hegloof is out of the session. And Private Rex does pull into pit lane. Hegloof making contact with the barrier where he did in qualifying. And we're going to a point now where everyone will be getting to the points if they just survive.
Yeah, I think we're coming to the middle stage where everyone is just trying to take care of the tires, and people will probably be make a gap to the other cars not to overheat their tires.
Definitely, the clouds are forming though here in Baku, Seoul metropolis in Azerbaijan. This is the only big city in Azerbaijan. I think it's the only what they class as a metropolis, but that's just brilliant. It's also a port as well. That just shows how much Baku has in the way of industry. But also the issue with it is that it's also run by a dictator, but we won't go too much into that history of Azerbaijan. Ryan Van Doom though starting to get attacked by JB Ogan, who's shown incredible pace this week in SFR, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's really good at the moment. I was just looking at the times at the time interval, and he went from 1.3 seconds to 0.8 seconds in a short amount of time. Now he's losing it again. So I think sector 1 is his upside, and then sector 2 maybe his downside.
Coming into sector 3 though, towards the final couple of sections before a long straight, it looks to be that it's starting to get darker and darker to the point that they might put on the street lamps, and that is an option here. If it starts raining, the street lamps will come on if it's heavy enough. So, well, at least it did on the 2017 game. I can't remember it on the 2018 game. But it will be really interesting to see what will be happening if they have to put the street lamps on here in Baku. Sector 2 still looks incredibly sunny, so I'm not sure what's going to be happening here as the Williams starts to hunt down the Alfa Romeo ahead. I mean, at this point in the race, what are you trying to do, Twan?
I'm looking at Jay Bogan at the moment as the only person that is really trying to attack someone at the moment. He's just lingering between being within and outside the DRS zone.
Nice rear end slip though for the Williams there.
Yeah, now he's almost contact. Yeah, he's within half a second now.
Oh, now he's off!
Oof.
Hegloof leaving the session, and JB Ogan crouching the barrier. That's red. That's red on so many levels, and that might be his chance at a Grand Prix win out of the window tonight.
I was really hoping for him to get a good position. He may still get... Do you think he will get on the Ultra Softs now?
Well, T. Jonas, our little voice in our ear, is saying that that the rain will come in the final laps of the race. He's saying. I tend to disagree. Depending on where the positioning was on the board, it looks to me like it's starting to prepare to rain already. So we're not seeing it obviously yet, but the game is starting to prepare for it up in the sky. Look at that as we drive towards the Obelisk Towers. Ryan Van Doom with a time penalty. I'm trying to think who actually has stop and go penalties. I think Chain Game served his stop and go penalty, I believe. Yeah, he has.
So who is currently
Smelly Badger is out of the session. Smelly Badger unfortunately will not make it further past He will not make it a double win, and he's actually crouched it in the castle section, the same place as Alison Senegal. Now we wait. He won't make it the double this week.
Just to
virtual safety car.
Okay, virtual safety car. So with the first virtual safety car, we already have a total of, what is it? Nine drivers out of the Grand Prix.
It's a difficult track, and this is obviously the second virtual safety car. Just to correct you there, we had one on lap 1.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah. Do you think Sepasley will come in to the pits now?
That is the question. He has been on those soft 13 laps. DRS back enabled. He is not heading towards pit lane as of yet. So the Renault carries on.
Mitch.
What Psychowicz going to do? He's under pressure from Ryan Van Doom if he's not careful. JB Hogan has pitted in all of this. He is down in P8 right now. Sector 2 yellow back. No, he's not! He's out of the session! Oh, there's damage, heavy damage, and the Williams is out. That means that everyone now, it turns into survival of the fittest in the race. Because now everyone here will gain a point. So this means that drivers might start to calm down a little bit on track.
Yeah, how's the rules for people getting into the top 10 but not finishing the race?
Only if it's within 90% of the race.
Okay, so if you have driven the 90%, then you will get a point.
You will get that point, yes.
Okay.
So look at Chain Game. He's been on those tyres 12 laps. We saw that the tyres started to struggle. Ooh, I saw a glitch there in the air. For just a moment, it looked like there was a speck of rain in Sector 2. So I think, well, Sector 1, sorry, rain is starting to form, I think. With 10 laps to go, this could get really interesting. Though with only 10 drivers, I think it will be a little bit of a struggle to it to be totally interesting.
Yeah, and to finish even the race with half the grid.
That will happen.
I mean, that's crazy.
Taking a look. I just lost the chat, so give me a moment. See if I can bring it back up.
Oh, I can still see it. Can't you see it?
Should reload in a second. My internet's been terrible recently. Dr. Spencer leaving the session. And Psychowicz, he's on for a podium tonight, but he's going to have to work for it because behind him he is a fast-charging Alfa Romeo. Psychowicz going defensive to the inside line. Maybe he's off to the pit lane. He is off the pit lane. Psychowicz going for the pits. What we got here? G. John is saying there's a TNR meeting at the restaurant in the castle section. Do you want to go crash my commentary buggy down there?
I'll ask if I can join later on for the after party.
Yeah, I mean there's bits of carbon fibre everywhere. Luke Beck though, he's looking to make the move. So Chain Game has gone for the ultra soft tyres. Now if rain does come in the next couple of laps, we have 10 laps to go, and rain is potentially here. Those ultra soft tyres are not the best option to be on, are they?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's the best option to go into. I think, as it looks now, I don't think the ultra softs will be the best choice. I think the super soft will be better to go in, like Psychowicz just has done.
Psychowicz looking for it, and if there's any other instance ahead of him, he's on for a good position. But right now, drivers I think are trying to consider calming down and not wanting to push too hard. Lee Nell saying, as he jumps in, our race director, saying, ooh, I don't want to race tomorrow, because this is how they are. And if you remember, Lee Nell made contact, CC Pasley as he pulled into pit lane. Lee Nell made contact in the pit lane with the barrier last season. Not ever going to let that go, but what does the Renault do? Because remember, this means the gaming things are not going to be leading the race. Oops. The Renault going for the super soft tyres as well, so heeding what Twan says.
Lee, he's not optimistic for the race tomorrow.
Well, Lee's never been good at Baku. And he drives a Red Bull. I don't know, Lee, you drive a Red Bull, and Red Bull have done pretty well around Baku normally. You know, when they have Ricardo driving it.
Yeah, that's true, but you also see we have no current Red Bull drivers on the grid right now.
We have one technical Red Bull driver, and that's Pro Rex in P6. I think, to be honest, he'll be happy with P6 after where he qualified, won't he?
Yeah, I think before the race he would be happy to just get into a good point scoring position, if I can just talk English.
Well, I can't talk Dutch, so we're in a bit of trouble there.
Yeah, I know. I have 4 languages, just too much.
So in all of this though, BlazMK, he's in P4 right now. He's the closest championship rival to Primary Rex, so he's not going to be a total loss. But see Pasley, who's in P3 in the championship, he's on the same points as Primary Rex. Will be overtaking Primary Rex if we ended the flag, if the flag drops how it is right now in Baku.
So do you think Gaming Things or Pasley has the best opportunity now? Because Gaming Things has been he went in after 4 laps, I think, so he's just 4 laps behind Pasley on or he was 4 laps behind him on fresher tires for the softs. And now Pasley has pitted, so
it'll be interesting. If the rain comes, traditionally the harder compound of tyres, if the rain comes, is the better compound of tyres. But before we talk about that, let's take a look at Chain Game, because he's about to woo his way past these Honda-powered Toro Rosso DRS Open ultra soft tyres. Faster than the Grand Prix, does not chuck out the inside into turn 1. But he's trying to draw alongside for Toro Rosso, he doesn't do it. The Italian machine too strong in the corners. But here comes the mighty Mercedes. Even with DRS, look at that, Primary Rex is actually staying ahead. But drawing outside, down the inside, comes Chain Game. He has made the move stick. And they go side by side, as if Jordan King did in Formula 2. And now Chain Game is through. What a fantastic
lovely clean
move,
racing action. That is exactly what we want to see of them.
Oh, and there are the flame towers, and there's a bit of flame coming out of the rear of Primary Rex's car as he catches the oversteer very well there for a man with an injured hand.
So, Pasley, he's gained 1.5 seconds at least in 1 lap to Gaming Things.
That's down to the extra grip, isn't it? Gaming Things will be, and Pasley is pushing. You can see it on the screen.
Oh, do I see? I think I see spray on the back of Pasley's car, didn't I?
I'm looking at it now. There's no spray right now.
I'm not quite sure on the start-finish straight.
Normally, if you go on board with them, mate, and you look at the actual front of the car, in the Renault's case, where the Renault is, you'll see like lines coming along the straight of it, okay. And that's how you can tell it for training. The rain is coming. It's somewhere. It's in the air, isn't it? You can feel it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what I saw then, because
it might have been the
really
engine
looked
stroke.
like. Yeah, but it didn't really look like that either.
Maybe so Pasley's Renault was starting to fail.
Yeah. So Pasley now, within 5 seconds, we will definitely keep an eye out for that gap to close.
Most definitely. Everyone can't wait to see what the GP2 division can get up to tomorrow night. I honestly can't wait to see that either. It's going to be so entertaining. Here's Chain Game. In P6, he's already broken a long away from Primary Rex. Actually, Chain Game might have a chance at a P5 tonight, which that would be brilliant to see, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the only problem for him is that he's on the Autosofts.
The gap at the top just hemorrhaged an extra 1.5 seconds. Something, Gaming Things' his car, something's starting to struggle there. And the tyres, maybe they're giving up. He's praying for the rain to come soon, but Pasley, he's on a charge and he wants to win this Grand Prix, doesn't he?
Yeah, the soft of Gaming Things are on their they're screaming now. They're on their last breath now. Just saw his time now, and he's 1.1 seconds off the pace from his I don't know if it's the last lap. I would imagine that it is the fastest lap.
The gap comes down at the top, and Chain Game is ripping the gap apart further down on Psychomich. These two stopped in the same lap, and Psychomich going for the harder compound tires, and we'll look at Chain Game in a moment. Just keeping an eye on everything right now, trying to work out who's doing what, who's going to be where, and what's going to be happening as the race goes on. 2.8 is the gap at the top.
See, Pasley having 0.31 seconds in the first sector better than his previous best, so he's really just trying to catch up to Gamey Things now.
Chain Game made a collision apparently at on the first lap on out of Senegal, or something at least, and now Chain Game is going to try and make a move on Psychomich for a top 5 position finish for the Mercedes driver. He's going to be close, but is he going to make the move done before we see Pasley make a move for the lead? It's raining here in Baku though, with 6 laps to go. Is it too late?
This will at least make it really good for Gamey Things, so they will probably make the differentiate much smaller. So I think Gamey Things and Pasley will definitely try to get out into the top start.
Take a moment, because Psychomich has just been passed by Chain Game. I feel your pain, mate. I'm a native speaker of English, and I still can't do it. Psychomich, though, he's got a better run on Chain Game, who's running him out of road. But now Psychomich down the inside of turn 2, and he has made the move stick, and Chain Game once more on the attack. He's not going to DRS. It is starting to heavily rain here. We might see intermediate tyres needed in the dying laps of the Grand Prix. Is Chain Game going to chuck out the inside? He does not. Psychomich is doing his utmost to defend from the charging Dutchman.
Yeah, and I think from now, Psychomich will have the better tires, I think. I think it has come to the stage that Psychomich will be faster on the super softs.
He considered it, didn't he? He thought. Here's the lead of the Grand Prix though, DRS still enabled. And Pasley getting his eyes in. He wants to get past the Mercedes soon. If it does start to spray, which it might be doing soon, then we might see that these drivers need to get out of each other's way.
Okay, Chain Game looking for an opportunity now.
DRS open on the Renault as he... Oh, Gamey Things into pit lane. Gamey Things giving up the race at the dying moments, and now Chain Game is trying to find his way past. He's going to be on the straight. He's going to be very slippy, but it's whether he can control it through this S section here.
Yeah, I was just waiting for it, because Gamey Things just had way too old tires to just keep on going.
Ryan Van Doom in as well. Blazam K onto the podium tonight. It's not fully done though, because he could be losing it. Chain Game coming down the inside of turn 1. And Psychomich having to give up the goats. But Chain Game, the Dutch driver, trying to catch it up. And that's
Van Doom on the Urtasofts now.
And that's a big, big ask for those Ultras to keep the grip here. We see how much Chain Game's struggling ahead. DRS still active here in Baku. Chain Game trying to run Psychomich and a road. Psychomich having to take to the curbs. Pasley with a 17-second gap is looking to take his first win in GP3. I believe it's his first win. And I really do hope we can get an interview with him tonight, because I want to hear his reaction.
Oh, Blazam K spinning in the Costa section now.
That could be Blazam K's podium gone, and look who's looking to be on the podium. Chain Game, or is it going to be Psychomich? Both these drivers not with time penalties. Ryan Van Doom.
Blazam K.
Ooh, Ryan Van Doom. Oh, Psychobit, Primary Rex on the last moment has lost his wheel in the castle section after such a brilliant drive.
Blood and sand!
Blood and sand's round as well in the castle section. It's a car park here in the castle section. It is too wet for those tyres. It should be intermediate tyres on these cars. Does any driver pit? See, Plasty can't pit. Gaming Thing does not pit. And Blazon K, is he going to carry on? He's got nothing. The rain's coming down. Sector 3 yellow flag. Psychomich is out. This is what the rain brings when you're on stick tyres. Psychomich, he's done in the race and he's going to be absolutely upset with that event. Chain Game goes pulling pit lane. They are intermediate tyres onto the Mercedes, and he is still within a chance of winning this race if the other drivers do not pick that strategy and they do the wrong one.
Yeah, would you think people going into the intermediates now, do you think that still would help? Because it's just 3 laps left.
I feel for Gaming Things because he just pitted. I think if I were them, especially with the S's how they are, I would pit but Chain Game going too deep there at turn 2, I would pit for the intermediate tyres if I were them. Just because of the nature of this track, of how difficult it is.
I think at least Blazon K should be pitting for intermediates now. He's on 19 lap old softs, and when it's raining and you're on old hardest compound, you're way off the pace and you're just trying to get around the lap. More than
does
trying
not
to
pull
have
into
pace.
pit lane. Pasty continuing on. Gaming Things continuing on. It looks like the rain has started to lift off just a little bit. We might have had just a momentary moment of insanity with that full wet. But what does Blazon K do? Does he pit? If he pits, he's off the podium. This is the question that you must ask. He has damage on the car. Is he going to make it though? Are those tyres going to are they going to burn out on pop by the end of the session?
Oh, Blazon K still going on. Now 20 laps, old softs. Do you think they will... Do you think they may have the opportunity to get a puncture now?
I believe that if he does try and push these tyres too hard, the rain's starting to lift off a little bit here, so it has started to ease off. So we've had one moment of insane rain that has cost us two drivers. I think that he's at liberty for those tyres to pop. They might just burst to the last lap, and when these tyres burst, especially in the fast corners, he's gone. We'll keep an eye on it though. Heading towards the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix, and see Pasley is looking for his first win in SFR.
Yeah, if he can keep it out of the wall.
He truly is feeling fantastic right now. Clearly, look at that. He's lifting off in the second X, and he's charging down towards turn 1. He can take it simply. He's got hardly any gap behind him, hasn't he?
Yeah, if I were him, I would just take his time and just, you know, just make sure that it comes to the finish line, because he has the time to use to just lift off when he needs to, and just making sure that it doesn't spin or anything like that.
Blazon K catching the car dramatically there as he powers up a little bit too early on those worn softs. It looks like he's destined for pit lane. No, he's not. The Williams carrying on. 21 laps as we head to the 25th lap. Blazon K though, he is going round if he's not careful, and the 2-second gap. Ryan Van Doom is looking for a podium, and he's going to get it if he's not careful here. I think Blazon K's tyres are well and truly cooked, and now we're heading towards a final lap battle here. DRS still enabled on these cars as the rain eases off. No, it's getting heavier now here in Baku. Oh, there's just so much grip on Ryan Van Doom's side of things. Now we see who's going to... These two on the top of the grid together, I believe it was. No, right, BlazMK just letting him through. No, he's not.
He doesn't.
Oh, there's contact. Has he forced him towards the wall? No, he hasn't. BlazMK over defended a little bit there, and there is just the advantage of newer tyres. See Pasley heading now towards the final lap, and BlazMK getting a stop and go penalty. You've seen track limits. See Pasley for the first time to start the final lap in P1.
Oh, BlazMK almost into the wall. Oh,
he's got no grip. Those tyres are going to burst.
Yeah, he was just about managing to drift away from the barriers. Oh yeah, he has no grip.
See, Pasley is our leader right now. We're on the last lap of the Grand Prix. What does BlazMK do? He can pit now. He'll come out in a respectable 5th position. One of those tyres is going to go soon. I think it's the rears. Watch him through this section, mate.
Oh wow.
Look at how
lifting all the way.
Absolutely nothing on throttle inputs there. Ryan Van Doom, he has a time penalty, but it will not affect the finishing positions right now. See Pasley brushing the barrier.
Before Ryan got ahead of Blazem, Ryan was actually pulling a gap to Chain Game. So I'm not quite sure if intermediates is the right decision to...
I think we're right on the crossover point between intermediates and slicks.
Yeah, I think it may even get dry now. Well, or am I really wrong?
I think it's starting to get drier, but we will not see that opportunity on track, because for now we're going to see C. Pasley come through the S's for the final time. All he has to do is keep it out of the barriers. That's one part done. Here comes parts 2 and 3. There's 1, and there's 2, and now he's on the straight. See Pasley for the first time ever. See Pasley on the straight. If he loses it now, we will potentially laugh. There's weaving, because C. Pasley is going to be a winner finally in SFR. He's been here so long, and he does win in GP3. We have a new winner, and he's from Ireland. Gaming Things finishing a brilliant 2nd from starting 3rd on the grid, and Ryan Van Doom, what a brilliant race from him to come back after battling hard. He is going to finish on P3, 30 seconds behind the leader. But Ryan
Have
Van
you
Doom,
seen the gap between Ryan and Blaze?
Yeah, such a massive gap now. BlazMK with those tyres. We have no reports of a yellow flag yet. So those tyres are still apparently holding on. Somehow, he's driving on the rims at this point in the car. BlazMK, championship leader, is going to finish in 4th. C. Pasley has jumped into 2nd in the championship. To be honest, he may even jump into 1st even. My maths is not very good. But there we go, BlazMK with an unserved stopping a penalty. He finishes in P4. Here he is, C. Pasley in the Renault is our winner tonight.
Who do you think currently, just without looking back, who do you think is the driver of today?
That is a question and a half, and I want to answer that by looking at where C. Pasley started, because C. Pasley started outside of the top 10. He started 11 places down from where he started, from where he finished. So I would say that at the same time, but GA started 10 places down from where he started.
You need to keep in mind that I think that starting on fresh tires was the best option strategy wise. I think.
I'll leave drivers day up to you, to be honest, because I'm too impartial to make those decisions. But C. Pasley has won tonight for the first time ever. We'll see him on the top step of the podium here in SFR.
I mean, I think I could say a thing for everyone. I think
they're all drivers, because they all deserve awards because they did finish that race, and that race was tough.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly.
See Pasley now with the champagne flowing. Renault's first win in GP3, I believe. And it belongs to Steve Pasley, the Irishman, ahead of a Mercedes and an Alfa Romeo. What an ecstatic race there. So, here are the results, barring any stewards' decisions. We might see some, because Steve Pasley is in P1 ahead of Davey Things in P2. Ryan Van Doom finishing in P3. Blaz MK finishing in P4 after starting on pole position. Chain Game starting in finishing in P5. Luke Beck starting in 4th, dropped down to 6th in the race. Blood and Sons finishing P7, GA finishing P8. Here are the drivers that did not make it to the flag. Are you ready? Because it's a long list. Psycho Mitch, Primeval Rex, JV Ogun, Smelly Badger, Hegloof, Oima, Laser Lord, Dr. Special Energy, Oliver, Sigard, Meaty Soldier, and Alison Senegal did not make it to the flag tonight. What an ecstatic race. That was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, and before the race started, you were talking about Red Bull, didn't you? Being quite far down in the standings. So a double DNF now, what do you think that would mean for them?
I think it means that Christian Horner is going to have a few veins popping out of his neck recently, because he's not going to be happy. Let's get these drivers into the commentary booth and let's have a chat with them. Pasley, I know you're in the chat, mate, but can we talk to you? Please? Claire's let us talk to you tonight. That's Ryan Van Doom invited. We're looking for gaming things. And then one more, we'll send it to Z Pasley, even if he can't join us. Just so he knows that he is a winner. Ah, he said sure, we will be talking to Steve Pasley tonight. I'm very excited now. I got what I wanted. Ryan Van Doom has joined us up here in commentary booth. So we'll just wait. Ryan, just to quickly check, is your voice set to share?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Gaming things, I'd assume your voice is set to share.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
That's brilliant to hear from you again, Gamey. Now we're just waiting for C Pasley to join us, because we need to hear C Pasley walk in.
He is.
He's probably crowd surfing right now, knowing him. He is here. We'll just quickly check. Pasley, have you got your voice set to share?
I have.
Just check one more time. Pasley, is your voice set to share, mate? Alright, you're a little bit quiet, mate. That might just be me.
No, it's not. That's better. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Alright, so we'll go on from reverse order to punish C Pasley a little bit more to make him wait. Ryan Van Doom, how are you, my friend?
Doing well, buddy, doing well. Wrecked after that song.
Take us through it, mate.
That race just sort of had everything for me. Hey, crashes in front of me, lost my wing twice. Just flat out the whole way, trying to keep up, and made a good decision in the tyres in the end there, and just worked out perfect. Hey, please.
So happy with that nonetheless. You seem to be pushing absolutely crazily throughout the race. Is there anything you think you could have done differently, barring losing your front wing?
Can't even remember how I lost it the first time. The second time I remember it was my own stupid fault, and then I just had I didn't actually feel it too much. I was on the soft tyres, but I didn't actually feel it too much. I was still keeping up a good pace, and then when I got the ultra softs on, I was flying.
Well, that's brilliant to hear. Next week we're off to another track, which I'm going to quickly keep talking while I find out what track we're at next week. Completely forgot to check earlier. Let me check. Where is it? It's somewhere on this picture. I have it saved. Where is it? Here we are. Next week we're off to Canada. What can we expect from you there, Ryan?
Again, it's probably one of my favourite tracks. A lot of practice in it, so I have. Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right. So thank you, Ryan, for joining us. We'll now move on to gaming things in P2. Now, mate, you're starting to get a nice rhythm up here in the podium. But again, you're being a bit of a Bottas in 17. You've got second a few times now. When are we getting this win?
I feel like today should have been it again, like in Germany. But see, Pazzi, your tyre saving skills and on those soft tyres were the stuff of legends, mate. Bloody hell.
So just take us through that for us, Gamey. Just take us through what happened in that race.
Well, I obviously started third, got in a good start, got up to second, just following around first place. Then on the lap, I obviously pitted in first place, made a big mistake, what got me into the lead, but I was pitting anyway for the soft tyres. Yeah. And then obviously kept going right there, everyone pitted, yada, yada, yada. Yep. And obviously then Pazzi pits after that very long run on the soft tyres, like I said, bloody hell. Yeah. And obviously we took the lead, but by the time he got me, the rain started to come, and there was no way my tyres could had enough life in them to get to the end of the race without them slipping into the wall or challenging C Pazzi. So I obviously had to pit.
So, anything you could have done differently? We saw your start was absolutely phenomenal, beating out the Alfa Romeo ahead of Laserlord. Do you think that's really where you should have been doing your best?
I feel like I probably could have put up more of a fight today if that rain didn't blooming come.
Rain seems to be always your downfall, though, here in SFR. Nonetheless, with Canada next week, are you looking forward to that race?
Yeah, I'm very strong on that track. It's just I haven't got the best track record at Canada. I normally tend to damage my front wing quite a lot there. But if it doesn't happen, everything goes well. You could see me up here again.
Well, we'll be glad to see you up here. But you have to obviously remember to make room for other drivers. Some drivers might want to come up here too.
They have to get past me first.
Well, before we do that, before we talk about who's passing who, shall we talk to the race leader, the race winner even? It was C Pazzi. How was that for you, mate? So just take it through that. Obviously, qualifying, knocking your confidence. You did your best you could in the race, and it proved to be the best in the race. Anything that you could have done differently at all? So, it's like getting blood from a stone for this one. It's your first win in SFR. How does that feel? Just to know that your name's going to probably be etched into YouTube history, because obviously we stream nowhere else. It really has been. I mean, you were quick when I was racing against you, and that, makes you an old boy like me. Nonetheless, with Canada looming, how do you feel about taking the Renault around there? Is it likely that you will get much in? Still. Nonetheless, congratulations on winning, and congratulations to all three of you for surviving the endurance race of 20 turns of absolute terror at Baku. You're all free to go and do whatever you send to please. I mean, I can already tell what C Pazzi will be doing. He'll be partying until the cows come home. Alright, so I'm gonna reinflate Twan and bring him back. Hello, Twan.
Hi.
So that race had almost everything. What we could have wished for was just a safety guard, a bunch up the field, but nonetheless, how was that race for you?
No, I think it was really good. You had almost everything. I think it's too bad that we had one part where there were no people just closing in, and well, they were closing in, but there was no one close enough to try and attack the other.
It truly was, and that was obviously down to a few DNFs. That is not down to any drivers' lack of ability, and that's down to drivers who, GP3 is all about drivers progressing and being as aggressive as they can do. And unfortunately tonight, Baku tends to be the circuit that we get the most DNFs on, barring Monaco, but on this revised calendar. So are we going to predict more or less DNFs coming tomorrow for GP2? Twan?
Yeah, sorry.
Did you just daydream
I was just
off there?
fixing something up. No, I'm just fixing something else.
Oh, sorry.
Can you say it one more time,
So,
please?
Baku barring Monaco is the track that we get the most DNFs on. This shows how difficult the track is. Do you think we'll get more or less DNFs tomorrow with GP2 heading to the track?
I'd hope for less. Well, I'd hope for more, but I'd say less, to say rephrase. So I think the GP2 drivers are not that aggressive as the GP3 drivers. I think that's a good thing for actually both of them, both of the leagues, because you have the GP3 drivers just pushing everything they have and just don't thinking too much about consequences and such, and you have the GP2 league, who is just a bit more consistent and just a bit more, could I say, mature, maybe, in the driving style.
You can always say that. It's your opinion. We're not going to try and shout your opinion. But yes, if you're interested in what GP2 are going to be up to, we'll be seeing them tomorrow night take on the Turns of Terror here in Baku. But that's going to be entertaining. The question is, though, Twan, the one question I'm going to embarrass you with, though, is when are you going to get your wheel fixed?
I have no idea. I've been on and off with Thrustmaster for now. I think it's over a month now, and I've been contacting them, and I didn't get an answer. So I have contacted them again, and then got the same answer as the first time, which didn't help me. And then I've sent my wheel to Thrustmaster, so I just know it has arrived in Paris. I don't know if it's in Paris, but it's at least in France now, and I guess something's happening with it, but I have no idea.
Probably looking at it thinking, why have they sent us one of these? Has one of you guys bought a Thrustmaster wheel? Well then. Out of 10 though for that race, barring that little area where we had nothing, I reckon that's about 9.5. Some dramatic racing we saw.
Yeah, I'd reckon around there, maybe 9, I think. It's a good one.
Still hesitant for us to touch that top 10 again. We had one earlier on in the season, but we haven't had one since. I think it was Austria we had one.
Yeah, I'd like to have a few more drivers actually to just spice it a bit up. Actually, I think it just was a bit too much again on the overside. So
nonetheless, we will see these drivers take on next week's track, which is going to be Canada, as we head towards the dying embers of this season. But if you want to keep on what SFR's up to, we're going to GP2 tomorrow night to watch the GP2 drivers, the likes of Lee Nell, will take on this track and see what Honey Badger can get up to as well. My name is JB. Thank you, Twan, for hosting and joining me up in the commentary booth.
No problem.
And we will see you next time for SpeedForce Racing. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time. Ta-ra, guys!